Brats, we've been getting a lot more suggestions from you out there about what are some other headphone options that'll fit on a Bobo VR M2 Pro. We got an interesting one here off Etsy, of all places. Let's check it out. I did pay for this. This was not sent. I don't think people on Etsy send, I don't even know. I don't know anything about Etsy. I thought that was where your mom sells some handmade thing she's making. I didn't even know you could get Quest 2 accessories on Etsy. So let's open this up. Always have that small, sharp unboxing knife. You open it up and it looks pretty Etsy-ish. It looks kind of homemade. We've got, oh wow. We got a headphone cable that goes to, I don't even know what to call. Those are like raw clips right there. We got some Velcro wire holder stuff. We've got, oh my goodness. Okay, what have we gotten ourselves into? I'd use the knife on this one, but oh gosh, I'm a little scared. Look at that. I'm a little scared. This is like a raw speaker right here. We should probably put up on the screen what it looked like when we ordered it on Etsy versus what it's looking like here in the box. I mean, oh boy. Oh boy. I cannot see you hardly at all right now. And I guess that is what the sound is gonna travel through. It's like flexible though. Play a little sound on it. Oh man. This is like 30 bucks on Etsy too. But one of you was like, hey, I really want you to check these out. And so here we are. Thank you for supporting our store. Please visit this link for installation guides. We might actually have to go use those. This is from a company called Prettygood3d. Not very good 3D, just pretty good. And so far, I'm not gonna lie, I am pretty scared of what pretty good means. If you know what 3D printer hair is, it's 3D printer hair all over this. Oh, wow, okay, let's get to this. Okay, I'm gonna go check the guide. I'm gonna take a minute because I'm a little nervous about this. Some assembly required is an understatement. It's all 3D printed parts, so you're pushing, you're shoving. We'll have a little guide here up on the screen real fast just to kind of show you what they tell you to do. Once you get it together, this part is eventually supposed to be adjustable, so you see how that's kind of clicking in and out. 3D printed stuff, so it doesn't feel nice, doesn't feel uniform. It feels cheap, it looks cheap. Probably the grossest part to me is these right here. That's supposed to be simulating a nice headphone that has some foam in there, some holes for the sound. That is what's simulating that. And just for perspective, these you can get for about $42. These are about $30. Sound is what's king. So before I go through the next step, which is actually taking apart your Halo strap to get these attached on there, I'm gonna try and give them a little audio listen before we do that to see if it's worth that much trouble, because I'm a little nervous about taking the strap apart. Let's see what we can figure out here. They are fat little speakers, so I've got some hopes. The color of the white 3D print does not match the color of the Quest 2. Not a huge surprise there. Well, the good news is I actually want to kind of try these proper. So give me a few minutes again. We're gonna figure out how to get these things attached to a Halo strap. It requires some unscrewing of your Halo strap, so keep that in mind. It's probably not something a lot of people want to deal with. This is not a simple strap-on style. This is gonna take work. So real quick, actually, that was probably the easiest part of the install. Most Halo straps, you just have one screw on the inside of here. That is gonna drop off this cap here. Basically what's gonna happen is when your cap comes off, you're gonna replace this whole piece here. Your screw is gonna screw into the middle of this, and this is gonna replace that. So do one here real quick for you to see. So once that screw's loose, so that one took a little bit more pressure to pull out, and then essentially this should slip right into where that was, and then you just gotta work your screw back in there. A magnetic screwdriver or a second set of hands might make your life a lot easier here. Now, a few concerns. That screw normally just holds these on. It's not holding weight like this. That screw may not be good for weight bearing like that. And every time you turn this or every time you adjust these, you might be loosening that screw. So you may find over time you have to go and screw that in a little bit more. I'm gonna test these against the Bionik Mantis I've been using. I like that they're adjustable because I can actually get them down to where I want them over my ear. They're still touching my ear. They're supposed to be off ears. They're touching my ear a little in the back. That could definitely be different for you depending on if your ears stick out from your head or not. If I push them down forward to where they're aiming a little bit more over my actual ear lobe, my ear hole, whatever that's called, it doesn't touch me as much. I'm gonna go to Beat Saber so I can get some uncopyrighted music in case my mic actually picks this up. That is quite possible with how loud these get. They get extremely loud. Loud does not necessarily equate to quality, because it definitely feels like they're, for how big the drivers are, they're really lacking bass, which is surprising me. Boy, they are trying. They don't have the bass the Bionik Mantis do, and the Bionik Mantis do not have amazing bass, but the difference is the Bionik Mantis are on your ears, simulating trapping some of that bass, pumping it into your ear canal, where these, they're hanging off your ears. These have a lot of power and a lot of sound. If you have off-ear headphones on the Quest 2, they kind of need separate power to drive them potentially. I'm gonna give them one more shot here. I'm gonna try a game, something that has good sound, but that is not just music. It's a tighter race than I thought it would be, honestly. Let me pull up a game that's got things going on around you, because the immersion from having used the index for all that, I will tell you, the immersion of not having anything on your ears is nice. The immersion of having everything floating off of them feels good. And if I took the Bionik Mantis and I held them off my ears about the same distance these would be, they don't sound nearly as good off your ears as these do. I do feel like the Bionik Mantis have a little bit more clarity, but it could be the same issue of the fact they're actually on my ears. I'm surprised. It's not amazing, but for the lower price and the fact they're not on your ears, they actually are doing much better than I expected. I'm gonna take a few days with these. I'm gonna play them with my normal games, my normal routine. They're not as clear and they're not as good of audio as the Bionik Mantis. I can say that right now, but they're a much lower price, and the off-ear audio, the quality of not having another thing touching you, not pushing on your ears, not sweating into them as much, there is a benefit of that I've learned from the Valve Index that is its own benefit. So if these are good enough after a few days of testing, I might actually be tempted to switch to these, but I want to give them some more time. Assembly was rough. They look rough. They don't look good. You can see, if you can't see from there, they don't look good. They look very 3D printed. There could be a much better edition of these. Somehow there is some qualities that are redeeming them a bit in my eyes, and I want a few days to figure it out. So I will be back a little later this week and figure these out for you. Kind of an afterthought here, as I've been taking the Quest 2 more places and messing with these headphones more. Another factor that I have found that is making me lean more towards these is the headphones being 3D printed. They're flexible enough that they pretty easily fit inside the Bobo VR C2 case. It is a tight fit, but even with those huge new Kiwi grips we've been using on there, they fit in there nicely, which is another factor kind of pushing me away from the Bionik Mantis. I have played a lot of games, and I have watched a lot of videos, and I have spent as much time as I can trying to figure these headphones out. And I hate to give you the review I'm gonna give you of them. They are beyond ugly. They feel and look awful. And they don't sound super clear or super good, but for some reason, I can't switch back to the Bionik Mantis headphones. I like the Bionik Mantis. I think they're decent headphones for their price. These are cheaper, but something about the amount of sound that can come out of them and the fact that they don't have to touch my ears, I am enjoying. They don't have much bass. I looked into them, and on the website, they actually sell an inline amp that will help drive these and give you a lot more bass. I am not gonna buy that inline amp. That's too much more money to invest into these, but I think it does make sense that there's not enough power coming out of here to really push. You saw those things when they went in. Beefy little speakers for how small this all is. For now, I'm gonna stick with these over the Bionik Mantis, and I feel crazy for saying that I'm gonna do that. I am gonna look and see if there's some ways to make them look a little better. I'm gonna see if maybe I can figure out a way to put some foam in here instead of this plastic crap. I don't know what I could do about the outside. I feel like sanding them might make them look a little better. There's something about them that I am enjoying. I think it's just the immersion of having them off your ear, but the sound still coming at your ear, not having to deal with pushing the Bionik Mantis and trying to get them in the right spot all the time. I don't want to say I recommend buying these, because I really don't, but the fact that I'm choosing them over my Mantis kind of seems like, you know, if you're out there and you're curious about them, I might say try them. They might surprise you. That's the best I can give you. I'm at a loss here, but I want to say thank you for coming out and hanging out with me. If you've played with something like this, please tell me in the comments what you thought, because I'm at a loss for why I'm continuing to use these. Please tell me if you are. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in another reality.